right, fuckers, you've had your chance. Now it's my turn.
Oh.
Okay. James Sanguinetti. It's a pleasure that he could join us here tonight to roast the one and only Justin Betancourt. I know it's been tough for you to find work since the last season of Boardwalk Empire. It's not every day that you get to roast Steve Buscemi's body double. No, I kid. James isn't anything like Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi is talented. And more attractive. Now, you are seriously one goofy-looking motherfucker. James Sanguinetti looks like the lab result of breeding Keebler elves with normal people. Now, surprisingly, despite James's physical deformities, he has a reputation for being sort of a womanizer. Apparently, there are women out there who care about things aside from looks, manners, hygiene, stable income. And you would have figured he would have stopped picking up cheap whores after he caught secondhand AIDS from Charlie Sheen. And that's right. James has tiger blood now, which is apparently 80% cocaine and HIV. James has touched more dirty pussy than a Denny's toilet seat. James Sanguinetti has evacuated more cheap snatch than Planned Parenthood. James Sanguinetti has filled more grimy holes than Mighty Putty.
Oh no!
James Sanguinetti has actually been inside Amy Schumer. I would rather play Blood Brothers with a hepatitis patient than touch James Sanguinetti's dick. And that's all I got to say about that. Nicholas Anderson, a good friend of mine. If there's one thing I know about Nick, sorry, Natalie. Sorry. If there's one thing I know about Nick, it's that he has a long history of disappointing women. The last time Nick satisfied a woman was getting off of her. The first time Nick disappointed a woman, he just survived an abortion. To this day, Nick cannot get a boner unless he's got a coat hook around his neck. Nick is one creepy little sick bastard. Nick was the type of kid who politely declined the candy, but got into the back of the van anyway. Fucking creep would walk out of that sliding door 20 minutes later with a smile and a ring pop. And this man has kids now. But let me ask you, how do you pass on 46 chromosomes when you only have 42? Nick, I hope that joke doesn't leave you feeling down. Nick Anderson. Look at him. He's one ugly bastard. If I were you, I'd start making some fashion changes, my man. It's a perfect time to start wearing surgical masks, you know, to cover up all of that. But no, seriously, I love you, brother. Natalie. This was really hard to write jokes about you, you know, because you're such a sweet person. But I'm going to make fun of you anyway. Natalie Cabral is the bargain basement Molly Shannon. If Molly Shannon ever worked on SNL or wrote anything noteworthy. In case any of you don't know, Nick and Natalie are actually engaged. Jesus, Nick. How did you get so lucky? You managed to snag a girl who was both into community theater and improv. If you ever have a child together, God forbid, if you ever have a child together, I suggest you start beating it while it's still in the womb to prepare it for the life ahead of it. Natalie is Portuguese. 100% in fact. Natalie is so Portuguese, she doesn't use tampons. She simply straps some masa bread to her panties to soak up the caldo. And last but certainly not least, Justin Betancourt, a dear friend of mine for many years now, recently got married. Some of you may not know, Justin is white, and he's married to a beautiful black man. It's a great sign of progress in our times that a gay interracial couple can exist and be happy. Think about it. 110 years ago, Justin's ancestors brought African men to a foreign land and forced them to a life of bondage and servitude on their knees. My, how the tables have turned. For any of you who didn't get that, that was a joke about oral sex.
Thanks, Steve. Yes.
Justin is an entertainer, very talented. And I'm not going to repeat this joke because Nick already did it, but not just anyone can play on a soundboard. Yeah. And whenever he gets annoyed with you while he's doing his job, he can just put on those headphones and nod his head and pretend he can't hear me. It must be hard to be a DJ in Taunton, Massachusetts, in between kicking out bums on heroin and pretending to actually care about karaoke. You have to find time to make yourself a drink while people walk to the back room to see the real DJ. Justin Betancourt is the best DJ $11.50 an hour and free booze can buy. But no, seriously, it was really hard to roast you. And this is because I care about you deeply. It's because of you that I am the man I am today. You've inspired me deeply and pushed me to try lots of new things. Anal aside, I love you, bro. And let me introduce our next roaster for the evening, Lady Sabrina. I remember the first time I met our next roaster. It stands out to me because the glory hole at Bobby's wasn't usually slow that night. She smiled at me, wiped her mouth on her sleeve, and I said to her, "Thank you. I've always wondered what it would be like to stick my dick in the mouth of a piranha." I zipped up my pants and left to grab a bottle of iodine. Thank you. And thanks to you, Lady Sabrina, we no longer have to live in wonder. What would RuPaul's Drag Race look like if it were produced by TNT? You're a classy woman, even if you suck dick like a blender. Ladies and gentlemen, Lady Sabrina.